Good evening. I'd like to make a couple of announcements before we start our program. This is a very special event for all of our young people. We're certainly proud of each and every one of them, individually and as a class of 1993. We'd like to ask that you, during this next hour and 30 minutes, refrain from moving around, if at all possible, and certainly during the calling of names, we'd like for each young person's name that's called to be very clear and very distinct. Please refrain from individual applause and cheers for each one of our young people. Tonight, it's the class of 1993. There'll be an opportunity at the end of all names being called to acknowledge their achievement. I'd now like to present to you, and ask that you remain seated, the class of 1993.
Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for bringing us here tonight, this beautiful place. We stand before you, Lord, full of happiness, sadness, and relief, but most of all, thankfulness. This comes from, Lord, we are so gracious to you for watching over us these past 4 years, thankful for our courage to endeavor, and for the success you've given us. As our lives change direction, we ask you, God, that you will protect us and strengthen us in the way that only you can. The love from you has been with us throughout the good and bad, time and time again. You have reminded us of your presence and your love. May you bless us with the same, Lord, for the rest of our time together and apart. We will always remember, Lord, that we're a part of your family, the class of '93, and McEachern High School. We are so very thankful for the blessings of our parents, teachers, friends, and everyone who got us here. May you reach down, lift us up, shine your holy face upon us, be gracious to us, Lord, and give us peace. Amen.
Amen.
Please be seated. As Secretary of the Senior Class, it is my privilege to welcome you tonight. According to Webster's Dictionary, the word welcome means to receive into one's presence or companionship or to greet cheerfully. With this in mind, I would like to say that the class of 1993 welcomes each graduate's special family, relatives, and close friends. We are delighted to have you here. We know the reason that you have come is because you love us and you want to share this special time in our lives. We appreciate your presence and thank you for making this night more memorable for us. A wise person once said, "The greatest joy of living is sharing life with others." Also sharing this night with us are the members of the John McEachern Trust Board, Mr. Donald Murphy from the Central Office, Mrs. Betty Gray, and Mr. Bill Connor from the Cobb County Board of Education. We would especially like to thank McEachern's faculty and administrators for being a part of this program. As we move through each part of this graduation service, we know that each of you will be sharing with us our joy and our sadness. Now, we invite you to join us in one of the most exciting events of our lives.
Each year, the senior class of McEachern presents Mr. Williams with a special gift for the school. This year, on behalf of the class of 1993, I would like to present this envelope with a check as our donation to the Memorial Gardens.
On January 20th, 1993, the day of the inauguration of President Bill Clinton, Americans watched with the expectation of change. President Clinton was elected due to the support of the American people for his dream involving the future of our nation. Tonight, we would like to share with you portions of Maya Angelou's poem written especially for the inauguration. Lift up your eyes upon this day breaking for you. Give birth again to the dream. We all remember the times in elementary school when the teacher would ask, what we would like to be when we grow up? And without a second thought, we would say, a doctor, or a lawyer, a race car driver, most of all, a professional golfer. But understand, however, this was at a time in our lives when the ringing of the bell for recess was definitely our number one priority. The time has now come for the dreams of our playground days to become the realities of the present. We no longer have the luxury nor the comfort to simply dream. We must now begin the task of fulfilling our dream. It is now our appointed time, as Maya Angelou states, to give birth again to the dream. Lift up your eyes upon this day breaking for you. This day refers to the present. Our day is the day breaking, and our time has come. Each one of us here should be able to echo the famous words of the late Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., "I have a dream." But now we must take that idea one step further. Simply dreaming is not sufficient. The poorest man is not he who is without a cent, but he who is without a dream. We must do as Dr. King did and persistently work to fulfill our dreams. We are the future. We, together, are the American dream. Lift up your eyes upon this day breaking for you. Give birth again to the dream. I stand before you this evening, proud to be living in a land where we can freely dream. God has richly blessed America, and more so, God has richly blessed us. We must go forward with faith and confidence to fulfill our dreams. I challenge you, the class of 1993, to give birth again to the dream. Thank you.
I stand up here tonight along with 4 of our classmates, supposedly to give you some kind of insight into life and maybe even tell you some of the secrets we have learned. Yet in reality, none of the brilliant things we say here tonight are going to be near as valuable as the lessons you and I have learned over the past 4 years at John McEachern High School. Our mistakes, our triumphs, our defeats have all built the character necessary for us to strive and excel in today's world. Many of us here will go on to college. Many will not. Many others will enter the American workforce. Many will not. In 10 years, many of us will have started our families, but many will not. Tonight, we will say goodbye to our extended McEachern family. In leaving this family, 2 things are guaranteed. We are going to get lonely, and we are going to get bored. We will be lonely because we won't have throngs of friends and relatives around us each day. In marriage, a man cannot expect to be a whole society to a woman, and likewise, a woman cannot expect to be a whole society to a man. Men and women try to fulfill each other's needs, but it is scarcely surprising that so many of us end up feeling inadequate and empty. So how do we combat this loneliness? We should make the effort to join all sorts of organizations, no matter how ridiculous we think they might be, simply to include more people in our lives. Quantities of friends and relatives of any sort are what we need to complement our lives. As for boredom, the German philosopher Friedrich Nietzsche had this to say: "Against boredom, even the gods contend in vain. It is a part of life. Learn to cope with boredom, or we will not be what our parents and the faculty are declaring us tonight to be, mature young men and women." Don and Harold Reed, the only actual brothers in the country music quartet that calls itself the Statler Brothers. By the way, nobody in the quartet is named Statler. The quartet named itself after a roll of paper towels. Anyway, Don and Harold Reed once wrote a song that became a big country hit in the middle 70s entitled "The Class of 57. The final verse echoes: "The class of 57 had its dreams, but living life from day to day is never like it seems. Things get complicated when you get past 18, but the class of 57 had its dreams. Ah, but the class of 57 had its dreams." Yes, and the class of 93 has its dreams. Many will come true, many will fade away into the past, and others are still only a twinkle in our eyes. As for our aspirations, I can only give you this thought: realize your dreams and enjoy the journey. Have the courage to make your own history, learn from the mistakes of the generations before us, and do not repeat them. Recently, our generation has come under scrutiny for being apathetic. We have tired blood, they say. Yet the generations before us have had a certain element in their lives that has driven them: hatred. Perhaps it is a tragedy that human beings can draw so much energy and enthusiasm from hating individuals such as Hitler, Nixon, and communist leaders, not to say that these are comparable in villainy. Hitler resurrected Germany, a beaten, bankrupt, half-starved nation, with hatred and nothing more. Richard Nixon, in winning by a huge landslide, gained the trust of many, many Americans, yet as it turned out, he was little more than a simple crook. We, the class of 93, are not sleepy, we are not listless, we are not apathetic. We are simply trying to live without the vitamin of hatred in our diets. We have sensed correctly that in the long run, hatred is about as nourishing as cyanide. We also have strived to live in harmony and peace with people of different races and religions. We have tried to instill the belief that all humans stand on level ground, with no one person standing higher than the other. I believe we should be commended for our efforts and not rebuked. Our society today is facing a tremendous need for change. As Maya Angelou so clearly states, lift up your faces. You have a piercing need for this bright morning dawning for you. History, despite its wrenching pain, cannot be unlived, and if faced with courage, need not be lived again. Thank you, and may God bless us all.
As we relive the emotions of the last few days and focus on the emotions that come together tonight, we can understand the relevance of the words of Maya Angelou. Lift up your hearts. Each new hour holds new chances for new beginnings. Do not be wedded forever to fear. Over the course of the last 12 years, we have given our hearts to our friends, our best buddies, our girlfriends, our boyfriends, and have created here at McEachern a sense of family within the class of '93. Our hearts have been affected by our wins, our losses, our challenges, and our fears, on the playing field, in the classroom, and across our campus. Our hearts have grown to almost bursting with love for each other. Our emotions are spilling over from pride in ourselves and in our accomplishments. We feel tears of joy and of excitement, tinged with a bit of fear from the unknown that we face. To balance our apprehension, we spend tonight looking back at the experiences that we have shared as seniors. Remember our first senior assembly, when each name was called with pride and we walked across the stage for the first time. Remember having classes in our own building, seeing each other day after day, over and over. Remember the nights we spent decorating the campus to leave our personal mark. Remember wearing shorts on Friday, senior privilege cards, the short hike from the senior parking lot, playing duck, duck, goose at the picnic, and the infamous earth ball. All these activities we look forward to, and we cannot conceive of the idea that it is over. We gave our hearts to our school, and it in turn helped us come together, a unit joined with love for one another and enthusiasm for our class. Tonight we come to the point where the paths cross. Each new hour holds new chances. We finally come to the end of this road, literally this hallway. We must choose a new path, even though we do not know where this path will take us. As Robert Frost reminds us, 2 roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. Long I stood and looked down one as far as I could, and yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. At the end of the road we now travel, we see that we have changed somewhere along the way. Personalities are stronger now, spirits are more sympathetic, minds are broader and more focused. In essence, we have matured. Each new hour holds new chances. We must make choices and take chances. As we examine our choices, we need not be wedded to fear. What do we need to fear? We have proven to ourselves, our parents, our teachers, that we can conquer anything expected of us up to tonight. We can continue the same spirit of conquering hurdles one at a time. We can make a success of college, make a success of a new job, make a success of marriage, and make a success of parenthood. We have set the precedent of achieving whatever we set out to accomplish, and we have nothing to fear. We can take strength from the words of the Apostle Paul. I have fought the good fight, I have stayed the course, and I have kept the faith. As we look to our right and to our left tonight, we try to memorize faces of friends that we know we may not see again for months, maybe even years. Hopefully, we will be together again at future class reunions, but for now, we have to say goodbye to each other. As Christina Rossetti so gracefully states, remember me when I am gone away, gone far away into the silent land. When you can no more hold me by the hand, nor I have turned to go, yet turning stay. Remember me when no more, day by day, you tell me of our future that you planned. Only remember me. You understand it will be late to counsel then or pray. Yet if you should forget me for a while, and afterwards remember, do not grieve. For if the darkness and corruption leave a vestige of the thoughts that once I had, better by far you should forget and smile than that you should remember and be sad. Our memories will always live in our hearts like the eternal flame, never to be extinguished. Lift up your hearts and remember one another with a smile. Thank you.
The horizon leans forward, offering you space to place new steps of change. In a sense, our lives up to tonight have been a series of steps, and each new step we take brings with it change. In her poem, Maya Angelou tells us that the horizon, which symbolizes our goals, our hopes, and our dreams, leans forward each time a new step arises and encourages us to step ahead and to be a force for change. Since the time we were small children, our mothers and fathers have watched us closely the steps we have taken. Our first stumbling steps were recorded forever in family pictures and movies. Our parents looked on, encouraged us, and held our hands, knowing that our first steps meant that we were becoming less dependent on them and were becoming more free to explore the limited world around us. They watched us get on the school bus ready for our first day of kindergarten. They watched our transition to middle school, and they heard about our move to high school in our freshman year. They waited for us to come home from our first real date, watched us drive away the first time we took the car out on our own, leaned over the rail at the prom hoping to see us in the senior walk, and now they stand in our honor as we graduate from McEachern. Through all these years, they let us know that even when we failed, they would be near and would not desert us. Our parents have always supported our hesitant steps, caught us when we fell, and convinced us to try again. Their hands were always extended with love and kindness. For their support, we are grateful, and we know that whatever steps we choose in the future, whether it is college, a job, a military career, or a family of our own, they will always be there to guide us. We walk today with confidence because of the guidance and support they have shared with us. In their eyes, we can be successful because success is getting up just one more time than you fall down. Our horizons from the day we took those first baby steps have moved and have taken on new shapes. As Alfred Lord Tennyson reminds us in his poem Ulysses, all experience is an arch wherethrough gleams that untraveled world, whose margin fades forever and forever when I move. Our margin, our horizon, is expanding, leaning forward, drawing us closer and closer, only to fade again as we conquer old situations and go on to face new ones. Tomorrow we will face a new horizon. Whatever we choose to do in our lives from now until forever will be a fresh start and a new beginning. As individuals and now as adults, it is our responsibility to reach forward to that new horizon and take those steps, however small they may be at first, that are so important in order to reach our goal, conquer that goal, and step forward onto even greater goals.
Here on the pulse of this new day, you may have the grace to look up and out, and into your sister's eyes, and into your brother's face, your country, and say simply, very simply, with hope, good morning. Maya Angelou closes her inaugural poem on a note of hope for all Americans. Tonight's graduation ceremony also ends on a note of hope for each graduate of the class of 1993. This event marks the end of an important part of our lives. Together, we have experienced success, happiness, struggles, and strife. These past 12 years, whether they have been good or bad to us individually, have prepared us for this day. And whatever our past has been, we have a spotless future. God has given us our abilities, skills, and resources to share and build each other up. Now let us take what we have learned, and together with these talents, embrace the opportunities this great country has to offer us. Let us use tonight as a stepping stone for tomorrow is a new day, a rebirth, a new beginning. Let us start anew with the knowledge we have and make an impact on society. All of our lives we have sat attentively as those around have controlled us, anticipating the day when we would make a difference. My fellow classmates, our time has come when we shall make a difference, a time when we shall lead and not follow. Do not retreat at this new opportunity, but instead march forward with boldness and confidence into this new horizon. Instead of letting others decide what you can do or what you can be, acting only as a bystander, take the initiative to follow all of your dreams and ambitions. In the words of Henry David Thoreau, if one advances confidently in the direction of his dreams and endeavors to live the life which he has imagined, he will meet with a success unexpected in common hours. In today's society, we tend to focus only on ourselves and do what is best for us. We are even referred to as the me generation. May we be challenged by this new day to look up and out of our comfortable little shells and begin today to take responsibility for our fellow man. Learn to be patient with man's shortcomings, be considerate of others, and reach out to your friends in their time of need with grace, love, and sincerity. Put into society that same measure of grace that you expect in return. Do not wait for extraordinary circumstances to do good. Try to use ordinary situations. And if we maintain this attitude, there will truly be hope for tomorrow. And finally, when tomorrow dawns as a new day and we all go our separate directions, remember that life is what we make it. As Cardinal Joseph Newman reminds us, fear not that life shall come to an end, but rather fear that it shall never have a beginning. These next few years will influence the rest of your life. The decisions that you make in the years ahead will affect where you will work, where you will live, and someday how you will teach your children to live. With these decisions come the responsibility to make the right choices. Have the courage to stand up for what you believe. And when you reach that goal, dream, or destination, do not forget who you are and from where you have come. Remember this great school and the memories associated with it. Remember the individuals who have made it possible for you to reach your full potential. In closing, I would like to express my sincere thanks and love to all those who have helped me and who have encouraged me to do my best. And to my classmates, I wish you a fond goodbye and say that may God bless you in all that you do, so that when we face the new world ahead of us, may we all say, very simply, with hope, good morning.
Thank you very much, students, for those challenges and inspiring words. I'd like to acknowledge Miss Cynthia Blackman, who worked with our seniors on their speeches and preparation of that. Thank you for a job well done. That's the top 5 students in the class of 1993. We certainly are proud of them and what they've accomplished and appreciate those inspiring words. I'd like to acknowledge to all of you at this time and thank you for your prayers for this occasion. Some weeks ago, we met with the senior students and parents and talked about these activities that will be happening in the next 2 or 3 weeks. And we asked that everyone keep this night in their prayers for a beautiful summer evening. And obviously our prayers have been answered. Thank you so very much for your commitment to that and for this very beautiful evening that we can share with you. I'd like to at this time recognize some young people who have received and will receive scholarships. I'd like to ask them at this time to come to the stage, and I'd like to introduce them to you. Mr. Brad Haynes, Mr. Jeff McMullen, Miss Sandy Jordan. If you would at this time move to the stage. Up here. Brad, this way. In December of 1990, a young man who had been a member of the class of 1991 was tragically killed in a car accident. Conley Burge was involved in many of our activities on campus. His entire family had a brother and sister graduated prior to his tragic death. The Burge family was involved, committed, and worked very earnestly and diligently for this fine high school. The McEachern Athletic Booster Club each year selects a young person to receive a scholarship in honor of Conley Burge. This year, Brad Hames will receive that $1,000 scholarship. Brad has participated in football and basketball at McEachern High School. He served as captain of the 1992 football team. He was awarded the 1992 Golden Helmet Award. In addition, Brad has represented the school as an ambassador to the Atlanta Business Hall of Fame. He plans to attend Presbyterian College in the fall. Certainly, Brad Hames is very deserving of this scholarship. We congratulate him and wish him the very best of luck, Mr. Brad Hames. Sandy, if you and Jeff will step up. Ms. Joan Gates was a loved member of our faculty who passed away in 1988. She was a master teacher, committed to excellence, inspired many of our young people to pursue a career in education, and certainly offered a challenge in each of her classes. A teacher that we all loved and respected and miss. She represents the very best of education and educator. Tonight we have two young people that we'd like to award on behalf of our faculty in honor of Ms. Joan Gates, each won a $750 scholarship to use to continue their education. Sandy Jordan has been actively involved in many extracurricular activities, such as cheerleading, Beta Club, FCLA, FBLA, an honor student, and has served as laureate of the Junior Achievement Hall of Fame. Sandy plans to attend the University of Georgia next fall. Jeff McMullen has served as a huddle leader for FCA, president of the God Squad. He has served as section leader in the McEachern High School Marching Band, Concert Band, and Symphonic Band. Jeff coordinated the White Christmas program in the 11th and 12th grade for John McEachern High School and the God Squad. Both young people, very deserving to receive this very prestigious honor, and on behalf of our faculty, present to them a check for $750 to continue their education. Sandy, University of Georgia, Jeff at Kennesaw College. Congratulations. The Atlanta Journal Cup is presented to every young person in the state of Georgia, sponsored by the Atlanta Journal and Constitution. It represents the outstanding senior. It's decided upon by the faculty of John McEachern High School. That young man that is involved, committed, driven to excellence, provides leadership, dedication, in every aspect of his involvement with this fine school. Certainly tonight, the young man that we will recognize and award a $1,000 scholarship to is very worthy of it and recognized for those achievements that I have just highlighted. I'd like at this time to ask Mr. Jason Howell, president of the class of 1993, to come forward. Jason is an outstanding role model for all of his peers. He has earned the respect of his classmates and teachers. Jason is an honor graduate. His extracurricular activities involvement are extensive. Football, basketball, Beta Club, FCA co-president, student council, National Honor Society, senior class president. He plans to attend Young Harris Abraham Baldwin in the fall. Jason was named to the All-County baseball team. A fine young man in the tradition of all those who received this very prestigious honor for the last 59 years. I'm certainly proud to present this Atlanta Journal-Cup to Mr. Jason Howell. I'd like to share with you some facts, information about the class of 1993. The total number tonight is 466. The total number of honor graduates, those with 3.5 or better, is 84, the largest number we've ever had at John McEachern High School. Congratulations, we're proud of those honor graduates. He has achieved a 4.228 grade point average. He plans to attend Georgia Tech next fall, where he has received academic and alumni scholarships. Brandon received one of the McEachern Trust scholarships last week at our honor assembly. The salutatorian for this class is Kimberly Lynn Snyder. Kim, would you stand? She also plans to attend Georgia Tech, been involved in many extracurricular activities. Kim has earned a 4.204 grade point average. Congratulations. And I'd like to ask these 13 seniors to please stand. We have 13 seniors that have earned a 4.0 or better grade point average. Would you please stand this time? Congratulations. Thank you. Approximately 63% of this class plans to attend college. The majority plan to attend college in the state of Georgia, Georgia Tech, University of Georgia, Georgia State, Georgia Southern, Southern Tech, and Kennesaw. The star student of this class is Brian Schultz. He selected Ms. Pam Fleming to receive a National Merit Scholarship to Georgia Tech. 16 or 65 seniors received scholarships to college. Total amount of scholarships earned is $1.2 million. Congratulations. I'd like to ask that these young people stand as I call their name. They received the very prestigious John McEachern Scholarship. Brad Carroll, Brandon Hutchins, Kim Kimball, Johnny Winkle, Tyler Van Zandt, Kim Snyder, Krista Ishii. Congratulations. We're very proud of you. I want to thank this class on behalf of the administration and faculty for the leadership you provide this school this year and the previous 3. You have distinguished yourself and been involved in many successes. Remember those, cherish those. Remember the hard work it took, the commitment it took. Continue that throughout your life. Your spirit, your dedication, your commitment will be fondly remembered by our faculty and your classmates. You've left some big footprints for the class of 94 and following classes to step in. You have left many challenges. Hopefully they will rise to the occasion as you did and leave as distinct history and past as you have. I appreciate the spiritual direction that you've given our young people, and may God bless each and every one of you. Ms. Gray, on behalf of the faculty and administration, I present to you the class of 1993 and certify they've met the expectations, requirements of John McEachern High School. Ms. Gray.
As the duly elected board member of the Cobb County Board of Education, I hereby certify that the graduating seniors of the John McEachern High School have met the high school requirements of the State Board of Education and the Cobb County school system and are thus entitled to all rights and privileges for completing these requirements. Mr. Williams, you may begin the presentation.
Jason Moore Howell, with honors. Andrea Lee Bailey, with honors. William Patrick Gillarducci. Amy Deanne Phillips. Rebecca Ann Morrison, with honors. Bradley Grant Carroll, with honors. Russell Tyler Van Sant, with honors. Kimberly Lynn Schneider, with honors. Cynthia Nicole Erfurt, with honors. David Brandon Hutchins, with honors. Sherry Lynn DaCosta, with honors. Kimberly Ann Kendall, with honors. Amy Laurel Delamay, with honors. Robin Marie Ragsdale, with honors. Prudence Joanne Torres, with honors. Linda Dana Jackson, with honors. Catherine Elizabeth Connor, with honors. Heather Dawn Kelsey, with honors. Lisa Michelle Lewis, with honors. Laura Ann Liddell, with honors. Cecilia Christine Ishii, with honors. Miranda Nabil Kerr, with honors. Kevin Lawrence Pittman, with honors. Kevin Philip Bryant, with honors. Brian Macaulay Schultz, with honors. Louis Carl Bowen IV, with honors. Gary James Milkwick, with honors. Jason Michael Kelly, with honors. Corbin Jonathan Adams, with honors. Philip Allen Davis, with honors. Eric Brian Burt, with honors. Robert Matthew Torrance, with honors. John Wilson Winkle IV, with honors. Scott Elton Wallace, with honors. Melissa Lynn Barger, with honors. Jennifer Susan Heitert, with honors. Kimberly Ann Blades, with honors. Lauren Lee Light, with honors. Jennifer Christine Perrier, with honors. Andrea Lee Cheatham, with honors. Amy Michelle Mulder, with honors. Phyllis Hayes Findley, with honors. Stephanie Lynn Gibson, with honors. Jennifer Joyce Wasserman, with honors. Janice Elizabeth Lewis with honors. Sean Renee Grachowski with honors. Stephen Gilbert Powers. Joel William Clackham. David Tyson Coons. William Brent Bressner. Matthew Craig Mitchell. Justin Edward Statham. Stephen King Colvin. Stephen Ellis Barfield. Michael Lee Chambly. Kenneth Gregory Hunt. Jonathan Lance Wilson. Douglas Chad Herndon. Bonnie Jo Smith with honors. Nancy Ann Shoemate with honors. Amanda Michelle Mahaffey with honors. Nyasha Angeles Wooling with honors. Christy Marlene Dilbeck with honors. Shelley Denise McCraney with honors. Rosemarie Ann Rudzinskis. Suzanne Lynn Cassidy Francisco. Heather Musio. Bethany Colleen Workner. Julie Ann Bowers. Charity Lynn Owenby. John Maurice Norton. Jason Matthew Gallops. Jason Kent Holcomb. Jackson Walker Norton. Christopher Joseph Kenyon. William Brad Herndon. Joseph Wellesley Johnson. David Matthew Hall. Corey Lee Hobbs. Daniel Marvin Michael. Daniel Richard Montgomery. Jason Thomas Miller. L'Oreal Heather Crawley. Kelly Amber Froling. Cheryl Lee Appling. Amanda J. Whitfield. Michelle Lavon Kane. Leanne Page Moyers. Kelly Ann Drake. Emily Elizabeth Huff. Jennifer Renee Jones. Elizabeth Ann Butel. Amy Elizabeth Williams. Allison Carol Kelly. James Douglas Frederick. J. Nicholas Mullins. Benjamin Preston Aiken. Eric Preston Adams. David Anthony Henson. Christopher Adrian Aon. Philip Andrew Wallace, Jr. Michael James Mashburn. Nathaniel Adam Blair. Christopher William Bond. Jason Brent Fincher. Bernard C. Ferguson III. Stephanie Lynn Swain. Rachel Christine Smalt. Amanda Marie Sales. Amy Lynn Sion-Flon. Christina Marie Hulse. Robin Catherine Clymer. Michelle Lee Harr. Glenda Marie Garcia. Melissa Carol Owenby. Dana Catherine Booth. Denise Ann Washizaki. Amy Jane McCartney. Brandon Joseph Smith. Jeff Allen Marklin. Joseph Marshall McNair. Eddie Luke Ware. Darrell Thomas Owenby. Adam Clinton Payne. Daniel Isaac Dugan. William Lance Palmer. Michael Anthony Poss. Brandon Dean Merritt. Travis Jason Baxter. Toby Jeremiah Mabry. Christina Virginia Hendricks. Catherine Hope Blackford. Ellen Lynn Coleman. Lori Ray Ward. Carrie Ann Wynn. Tracy Lynn Maxon. Kimberly Rebecca Head. Jill Elaine Sundquist. Melanie Ann Fairchild. Brandy Sean Adams. Natalie Dawn May. Eileen Marie Augelli. Tal Wayne Cook. Brian Walter Busby. Derek Shane Smith. Christopher Roy Carlson. Drew Elliott Spencer. Carol Edward Bell IV. Jared Hamilton Adams. Christian Jean Shell. Marshall Jason Shell. Stephen James Staples. Jason Allen Berry. Brent Damian Smith. Rainey Sue Llewellyn. Jessica Suzette Taylor. April Renee Kennedy. Kimberly Marie Bruckner. Janine Beth Ann Halleck. Sarah Allison Millsaps. Heather Nicole McManus. Christina Lee Pitts. Tiffany Nicole Parker. Secunda Chandler. Charity Dawn Klein. Alicia Mae Smith. Ronald Chad Anderson. James Brian Mullinax. Craig Eugene Christie. William Kelly Kirkendall. Billy Craig Mears. James Eugene Cox. Brent Allen Stafford. Robert Corey Barong. Stephen Kyle Quinn. Benjamin Kelly Lohman. John Stewart Roach. John Hayden Bennett. Krista Allison Krieger. Tanya Marie Martinez. Sadie McClyman Stack. Amanda Michelle Smith. Tamantha Marie Bickelman. Misty Dale Brown. Amy Diane Ellerby. Brandy Nicole Frankland. Maria Renee Mahaffey. Rachel Marie Williams. Anne Marie English. Ashley Dawn Sweat. Stephen Jeffrey Nettles. Alan Brent Anderson. Brady Jean Haynes. Brent Patrick Holcomb. Austin Matthew Graham. Jason Craig Seymour. David Andrew Hatcher. Peter James Hardy. Jason Todd Wilder. Philip Shane Ellerby. Chadwick Allen Reen. Todd Mack Birchfield. Mardell McLemore. Shannon Lamar Harp. Stephen Robert Sonderegger. Matthew Jesse Rutherford. Carlos Armando Sines. Daniel Shane Hubbard. Stephen Thomas Richards. Thomas Eli Hurst. Daniel Christopher Collins. David Lee Henderson. Keith Edison Brannon. Brent L. Collins. James D. Groover III. Daniel Scott Davis. Bradley Arthur Hames. Louis Todd Bullard. Jacob Crossley. Dwight Edward Fisher Wilson. Jason Douglas Lesh. Christopher Brian Tyner. Carlos Padilla. Jason James Reese. C. Paul Mayfield. Aaron Gale Winkleman. Kimberly Singleton. Christy Elizabeth Brightman with honors. Michelle Lee Dowell with honors. Christy Lynn Boudreau with honors. Deanna Michelle Byer with honors. Angeline Marie Monkus with honors. Shelley Suzanne Rice with honors. Pamela Denise Monkus with honors. Heidi Michael Hamilton with honors. Lucy Lee Grizzle with honors. Karen Elizabeth Campbell with honors. Sandra Lee Jordan with honors. Laura Ann Hodges with honors. David Brett Harper with honors. Travis Neil Rakestraw with honors. Jeffrey Allen McMullen with honors. Michael Daniel Rogers with honors. Christopher Wade Bryan with honors. Jason Allen Kale with honors. Sean J. Reynolds with honors. Ronald Wayne Hudson Jr. with honors. James Marvin Neal III with honors. Kyle Robert Anderson with honors. Evan Edward Morrison with honors. Jason Frederick Bowes. Selena Sue Smith with honors. Tasha Lachey Boyd with honors. Sandra Michelle Jackson with honors. Emily Ann Jost with honors. Karen Elizabeth Barnett with honors. Nicole Marie Crow with honors. Denise Lynn Hextra with honors. Ashley Marie Arrington with honors. Christy Lee Ellsbury with honors. Cindy Marie Kaiser with honors. Venice Ayana Watson with honors. Mia Shalon Lott. Chadwick Levyard Carter. Terrence Ramon Beavers. James L. Price, Jr. Michael Shannon Ross. Ian Drenard Brown. Algerman Montez Edwards. Julian Charles Williams. Kamal Caton White. Roderick Charles Hester. Walter DeMonico Ford. Toya Edward Fuller. Samuel Thomas Smith. Lawanda Bridgette Leaf. Tarsha Chevette Morris. Janet Monique Okoye. Chantel Germaine Moorer. Owita Dakila Johnson. Cindy Natasha Sinclair. Michelle Renee Blackwell. Arcelina Lola Ratliff. Michelina Olanda Cooper. Tamika Michelle Kennebrew. Luciana Gail Rufus. Michelle Lynette Norton. Mark Ryan Acree. Nathaniel Scott Quinn. Kevin Houston Gant. Daniel Thomas Gleason. Joseph Jerry Graham. Brian Scott Ramsey. Daniel S. Mojahedi. Kyle Mason Roberts. Michael Barry Palmer. James David Paul. Robert Allen Meacham. Stacy L. Sargent. Amy Lynn Hobson. Mickey Christine Hogue. Sherry Christine Canup. Elizabeth Ann Gross. Christy Lynn Evans. Lisa Elizabeth Wilson. Jamie Lee Hallbrook. Stacy Leanne Causey. Tracy Leo Clevens. Vivian Fawn Copeland. Nika Renee Boston. Tamika Chavette Ponder. Eric Stephen Hook. Jerry Edward Dobbs, Jr. Keith Brian Lavender. Daniel Allen Hill. William Scott Anderton. James Allen McLean. David Corey Scott. Philip Brian Bannister. Ronald Charles Werner II. Stephen Scott Stoico. John David Costello. Kevin Douglas Alsop. Patricia Janae Dugan. Candace Lee Massengill. Lisa Ellen Doan. Lisa K. Westy. Laura Jean Hine. Cynthia Alexander. Lynette Denise Walden. Wendy Veronica Brown. Felicia Deanne Balding. Wanda Hernandez. Maria Alexandra Lopez. Michelle Ruiz. Andrew Douglas Garner. Kevin Lloyd Jones. William Terrell Underwood III. Benjamin Franklin Wagner. Matthew James Gobley. Jeremy Lynn Mitchell. Bobby Richard Roberts. Eric Lee Bullock. Randall Lewis Turner. Thomas Charles Curtis. John Terry Southern. James Darnell Thomas. Christina Nicole Harvey. Christine Lee Dawes. Shay Suzanne Dean. Kelly Dawn Reed. Carrie Lynn Meese. Tracy Lynn Pearson. Brandy Sherelle Folsom. April Elizabeth Gammon. Lisa Ann Alexander. Heather Ann Hollander. Pamela Sue Sheets. Bethany Lee Suggs. William Henry Morton, Jr. Robert M. Payne. Larry Eugene Haney, Jr. Matthew Lawrence Dames. Michael Rhett Lott. Brian Robert Gill. Blake R. Scott. James Matthew Jobson. Jason Wayne Allen. William Anthony Goff. Thomas A. Fisher, Jr. Kyle Dwayne Croft. Shannon Marie Lane. Pamela Lynn Harriger. Carrie Elizabeth Jefferson. April Dawn McLean. Melissa Paige Chadwick. Lisa Michelle Baker. Stacy Lee Cook. Monica Susan Rakestraw. Kimberly Rebecca Gill. Karen Lynn Darnell. Julie Michelle Allison. Lisa Michelle Hoseman. Pell Eric Carlson. Lawrence O'Neill Anders. Michael Brent Hardman. Brian Gregory Nolan. Christopher Sean Reed. Brian Allen Warwick. Grammy Kaiser. Kyle Franklin Bailey. Marcus Daniel Hood. James Michael Pedro. Joseph Anthony Alexander. Christopher Brett Johnston. Chandra Dawn Summerhour. Rhonda Gail Weatherford. Angela Wright. Melissa Christine Lucero. Christy Jane Canova. Nicole Denise Bridgewater. Donna Michelle Hunter. Juliet Denise Hammett. Jennifer Elizabeth Gruel. Kara Deal Jensen. Melissa Michelle Hill. Christy Leanne Pennington. Eric Lee Mullins Dunn. Brian Douglas Moore. Michael Andrew McVeigh. Mark Allen Blakely. Christopher Michael Cooper. Emery Lee Epps Jr. Christopher Eugene Kinsey. Joshua Kane Capes. Russell David Parker Jr. Timothy Scott Norton. William Lonnie Marlowe. Clint Allen Summers. Jennifer L. Herrings. Catherine Helen Senecal. Melissa Catherine Cobb. Casey Lane Helton. Carly Ann Sines. Jennifer Lee Vaughn. Elisa Diane Brown. Andrea Camille Lanzo. Vanessa Paige Wynn. Penny Ann Barnes. Joanne Gail Smullen. Tracy Lee Purcell. Grayson Harold Ali Steele III. Jason William Riley. Joel Enoch Charles Boyd. Barry Lee Osteen. Roy Clifton Kellett. Michael Todd Prestige. Andrew Edward Boyle. William Thomas Edmondson III. David Bradley Pittman. Jamie DeSarno. Todd Nelson Trepke. James Carl Partridge Jr. Juan Alexander McCoy. Jimmy Clements. Anderson Emmanuel Jr. Justin Daniel Hopper. Horace Hill. Ladies and gentlemen, the class of 1993. Since medieval times, the mace has been a symbol of authority, power, and leadership. The class of 1983 gave the first mace, and it is used every year by the senior class to represent authority, power, and leadership. On behalf of the class of 1993, it is my privilege to pass on the tradition of the school mace to the class of 1994.
all the parties that we threw, driving the teachers crazy. Now it's nothing new. To all the times we came in late and they never said a word. To all the times in home ec, farewell to French onion soup. To the class where we learned about the store, where we bought the babies too. To all the shirts we've ever sewn and the patterns thrown away. To all the world religions that we learned in history class. To all the great musicians who lived in the past. To all the world's great artists, from Da Vinci to Surrey. It's time for me to go my way. And I'll wave goodbye through the window to my old friends. And I'll wave goodbye through the window, 'cause I know that I won't see you again. I won't see you again. You, my old friend, who I love so very much, talked of everything to the first schools we've ever touched, to all the things we've ever done, though they be good or bad. Now's the time has come for you to go your way and I'll go mine. Through the years you're always just somewhere on my mind. I always thought we'd be here forever and a day. But forever came yesterday. And I'll wave goodbye through the window to my old friends. And I'll wave goodbye through the window, 'cause I know that I won't see you again. I won't see you again. And as I drive away, I'll wipe away the tears. But I'll hold on to the years that we had.
Members of the class of 1993, please stand. Will you please join me in moving your tassel from the left to the right side to signify that we are now graduates of John McEachern High School. As the tassel is moved, so is a lifetime. For the paths have been chosen, only the journey remains. Best of luck, class of 1993.
Will you please stand and join me in singing the first verse of our alma mater?
I feel that it's very appropriate to end graduation with a prayer, so if you'd please bow your heads and pray with me. Dear Lord, I thank you so much for this day, Lord. Thank you so much for bringing us all here and giving us the opportunity that you have given us, Lord. And thank you so much for allowing us the grace to graduate, Lord. And thank you for your salvation. And please, thank you for our teachers, Lord. Thank you so much for everything that they've done in our lives, Lord. They've meant so much. They've done so much for us, Lord. And Lord, please help us in the future. Help us to strive to do our best, to do your will in our lives, Lord. And please help us have the faith in you to carry on, Lord. Thank you so much once again. In your beautiful name I pray. Amen. Amen. Now you can move to the end.
Thank you very much for coming, and good evening.